Well, hello, my YouTube fans. So, it's been a long time coming, I know. This is the final Match the Masters. It is number 10. It is the last one in the Chessmaster software. I'm not going to read this long thing on the side here. I'll just let you read it. Remember to play this in high definition. Sometimes you have to give your computer a chance to reach the high definition. So I'll scroll down a little bit in a few seconds. 2, 3. And you could pause it to read it. So, as you know, I've been, aside from this Chessmaster thing and the Match the Masters that I've been, I'm trying to find other content for the YouTube channel. So I suggested that I was going to do a time to read. I'm also going to hopefully cover the solar eclipse on August 21st. I may have to see if I can get somebody to videotape it for me. If you go to my channel, you'll see that I have solar projection videos. I'll be using that solar projection to watch the solar eclipse, so you'll see that I have an image of the sun that is 15 to 18 inches in diameter. It's going to be fun. I just hope I can get somebody to videotape it rather than me just simply taking pictures and talking. It would be a lot better if somebody can actually make a video of it, because I don't have the equipment. I don't even have a laptop that I could use to take outside and videotape. So but anyway. So this is the last, final Match the Masters from Chessmaster. Any future chess videos, I don't have an idea yet. I know there's at least one subscriber, I'm not going to mention his name, had asked me to do some of my own games and stuff. I literally don't have any games that I recorded for myself. I know that I'm flattered to think that some of you think I'm some kind of master or something, but no, I'm not. I'm not even close. Like, for example, I just came back from the chess club tonight, and I was in my worst form, and I was actually, one of my students was kicking my butt. So it's it comes and goes. It goes up and down. But that not to take anything away from that particular student. He learned a lot. I mean, when I first started teaching him, he didn't know anything, and tonight he showed that he understood clearly about pins. He understood clearly how to give a pawn advantage, like a piece advantage, the win. So and in the meantime, I was on my worst case. Anyway, let's get to this, and we're going to click next. So you read this, I hope. I'll scroll back up again if you like. Let this opening go. So who are we playing here versus Gligoric? So I guess we're partnering with Gligoric, and there's only 5 moves on the list of possibilities. So, like I've done in the past, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, what would I be doing? And then I'll see if it's on the list. I'm not going to study the list right now, and memorize any of the moves. I'm just going to see what I might do, and maybe I'll come up with the right move. Let me see. I see knight d4 is a possibility, as they call them, candidate moves. What else is a candidate move here? Knight d4 is on the list. I just looked. Okay, so that's a candidate move. I'm not sure if there's anything else I want to do or would want to do. I'd like to get the bishop out. I mean, perhaps bishop g4. Is that on the list? No, it's not even on the list. So that's a no-go. Well, okay, let's take a look at the list. Knight a5 is on the list. Okay, yeah, I can see where that might be. It puts the knight on the rim. Not exactly what you really want to do, but it's a possibility. All right, knight b4. Knight b4 is actually, I thought, a little bit better. Not necessarily, though, because then he could just push the pawn and threaten it. Then you have to move it back. Let me see. Knight b8. Well, that's just moving it back to where it came from. I don't like it. Although, I've seen him do it. I've seen, you know, like after certain moves, a grandmaster says, you know what, I made a mistake, let me put it back. I don't know. I don't like it, though. Knight d4. Knight d4. Knight, that's the knight on f6 on d4. I kind of like that because what it's doing is unblocking the bishop and perhaps maneuvering the knight to possibly go over to, you know, c5 perhaps, or even b6. Yeah, actually, yeah, okay. So that's a possibility. And then the last one would be knight e7. Yeah, because, you know, actually, everything I just said about the first knight move, the knight d4, no. No, I just realized that I had the white is threatening my knight, and I didn't realize it. See, I'm not in best form tonight. Yeah, so our knight is being threatened. So we can't think about the other knight on f. We have to think about moving this knight that's on c6 because it's being threatened. It's going to be captured. We can't allow that to happen. So it brings me back to my original knight d4 idea. But what about knight e7, which is the last one? So I'm going to take those two candidate moves as being the most possible. I don't particularly care for knight d7 because it brings it back and less active. However, knight d4 is a lot more active. Even though it can be possibly captured, we have a capture back. It captures, we capture, but then we lose a pawn. So, maybe knight b4 isn't so bad. This is a tough one, for sure. Well, maybe we can let that pawn go for opening up the file, or the diagonal for that matter. Both. Our bishop is on g7. Letting that pawn go, even though we'd be down a pawn, would allow us to have that diagonal and a possibly opening file. Let's do that. Let's go knight d4 and see what it says. Let's stop. On the first move, it's taking a long time here. And it's not correct. The correct answer was knight e7. So, in other words, not getting rid of the pawn, not allowing the pawn to disappear, just moving the knight out of danger, even if it wasn't on the best square. Wow, it's a long list here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so again, I'm going to say, what would I do? What would I want to do? This is tough. Maybe I want to bring my queen out a little bit. That's not easy. Bringing the queen to d7 is scary, because there's not any place I can go after that. Well, you know, what about the knight on f? What about knight h5? Even though it's putting it on the rim. No, I don't like that either, because then he takes, I take, and then the queen comes out. Is that up there, by the way? Knight h5? Yeah, it is actually up there. Well, what about a6? Blocking the bishop? Perhaps. Wow, this is a tough one. And I'm not even I'm not in form tonight. Like I said, I was playing bad chess tonight at the chess club. Let me see. What else would I want to do? Would I want to push the c pawn? What about c6 or c7? Well, c6 is up there, and c7 is not. C6 might be an idea. All right, what else would I want to do? What about getting that bishop out and like pushing the b pawn somewhere? Or stopping his knight from coming down by pushing the a pawn. Okay, so b6 is up there. I got my new computer glasses on, and I'm still doing this bifocal thing, and I gotta get used to it. I'm sorry. I don't have to do that anymore, but it's old habits die hard. b6 is up there, but he would have the potential of moving that knight to b5 rather, as is a6. Which would stop him from moving that knight to that space. But then again, what about the bishop? What about bishop d7? Is that up there? Ah, yes, bishop d7 is up there. Still, is that as good as the a pawn? I want to do both of those moves. Well, sorry about the clock chiming. It's 12 midnight. I don't like the idea of, you know, like I want to both move my bishop to d7 and move my pawn a6, but I don't like the idea that he's going to move. He might move his knight there anyway because he's got a lot of pressure on the square b5. So say I move my bishop to d7, he could still move his knight to b5 because I would only have that bishop and the knight as opposed to his pawn, knight, and bishop. So it's just not. I don't like it. I just don't like it. Okay. All right, let's take a look at their moves. King h8. Is there a reason for king h8? I don't know. I don't like that. I have no idea. I'm going from the bottom up. h6. We talked about that. It's a possibility. Knight h5. We talked about that. Possibility. Knight e8. That one I didn't think of. Knight e8. Yeah, maneuver. Possibly. Opens up the bishop to that pawn. Okay, next one up is knight d7. Now that is a maneuver, because then we can possibly move that knight. You know, it's a maneuvering of the knight, unblocking the bishop, knight d7, and then possibly thinking about moving that same knight to c5. Kind of like that. I still don't like his knight possibly coming to b5 though. You know, all right, bishop d7 is also there. Yeah, maybe. Oh, this is a tough one, man. Well, I tell you what. I'm going to go with this. Keep it simple. I'm going to go with this simple a5. Not a5, I'm sorry, a4. No, a4 is not even up there. What am I talking about? I'm sorry, I'm all right. I'm all right no matter what they say about me. A6 I meant. Okay, so I'm going to go with the a6 because I'm not a grandmaster, and I do see the possibility of knight d7 as a possibility, but it's not something I normally would play. But I'm not the master, so let's see what happens if I say what is it, a6, and see if the knight d7 is the actual answer. Knight d7 was the answer. That's the one I should have chose. Well, there it is. So hopefully we'll get a score for it anyway, because as I told you in the last 9 Match the Masters videos, you get a point score for a possible good move, even if it's not the one that the Grandmaster would have chose. You would lose points on a bad move. So we'll see what the end of the score is. This is a 48-page thing, so I got to try and speed this up a bit. Okay. All right, so after that, you know, I didn't even see what he played. Looks like he pushed a pawn. Well, I'm thinking now that he moved knight to d7, I'm thinking perhaps continue with knight c5. Is that up there? There's such a damn long list. Yes, knight c5 is up there. And he only has the knight on it, and we can recapture with the pawn. Um, that poor bishop is still stuck back there. So what would I do? I'm still looking at A5, A6 rather. And A6 is still up there. As is A5. I don't know why I would move A5 though. But what about B6? I think B6 is pliable, more pliable now, because now that the other knight is on D7, B6 would support that knight if I were to move it to C7, no, C5. If I were to move the knight to C5 now, it would be okay, but if I were to have the B pawn on B6 to support it even further, it would even be better. And then I'd be able to fee and shadow my bishop, or move it, you know, I'd be able to get the bishop out in some way anyway. So is B6 up there? Yes, it's actually the third choice. And again, I'm doing this bifocal thing, and I don't have bifocals on. You know, when you get new glasses and you try something new for the first time. For the first time in my life, I got these computer glasses. They kind of resemble the Harry Potter glasses, I know. But the fact is that these are the focal length for looking at the computer while sitting back, so I can see clearly now. But I still have that habit of doing this because I've gotten used to that. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, I like the idea of B6, but I still don't like the idea of the possibility of his knight coming down to B5. So is A6 still on the board? A6 is still on the board. What if we move the knight first? What if we go ahead and put the knight on C5? And that is, you know what? I'm just going to choose it. This is taking too much time. I'm just going to choose it. I'm probably wrong, but we'll see. It was F5. Whoa. Really? Oh, I see. Yeah, you know, again, I'm not informed tonight. Didn't even consider the fact that there's a knight on E7 and there's a protection for it. So F5 would break up some of that pawn structure that he's got going there. Okay. Oh, without even looking at the list, I'm thinking to push it again to F4. Attack that bishop. Oh yeah, yeah, attack the bishop. Well, that would be a nice thing. Lock in the position, attack the bishop. Yeah, I'm thinking F4 is my first candidate move. And F4 is up there. It's somewhere in the bottom middle of the list. Yeah, I saw that immediately. That's a good possible move. Because his bishops are locked down. He's got bad bishops galore, and we can make it even worse for him. You know, right now the black square bishop is his black square bishop is not locked down, but we can lock it down with that move. All right, what else would I want to do? What's another possible move? Again, I need to get that white square bishop out. You know, our white square bishop is bad. It's locked, and we gotta get it out somehow. So now, even more than before, B6 is a possible move. Is that up there? Yes, it is. And again, as always, he's got that knight on c3 that can come to b5, which I don't like. We need to be able to take care of that. So the a6 is still a possibility, and it is still up there. Okay, so this time, you know, the last move I didn't go through the list. This time I'm going to go through the list from bottom up. h5. I don't know why I would do h5. I don't like it. Maybe. h6, better. King h8. I don't know why. I don't know why that would be. Bishop f6. Yeah, it's a possible move. Rook f7. Rook f7 will allow me to pull the queen behind it. Still, he can take that pawn and open up the files. F takes e4. Nah. No, why would I want to do that? To open up his rook. Well, then again, F takes e4. If he takes, oh, he can take with the knight. No, that's not good. No, you know what? I'm not even going to look at the rest of them. F4, the first thing I saw immediately, to me, is the way I would play. I would immediately grasp onto that move because I can't see anything better. I'm going to go with F4. And that was, in fact, correct. That one was easy. I mean, I even gave them a chance. I looked through all those other moves, and there were so many. But F4 was immediately obvious to me before I even looked at the list. So, yeah. So we're going to go with that. So we got one good correct one. But again, I think that was too easy. So now what would we do? Well, I mean, now knight on E. No, wait, no. Well, now the knight on the C5 is still plausible, but that would give him a chance to move the bishop again to take, and we would open up that file. But it also caused him to lose that. We caused him to lose a tempo by making him move his bishop. If we make him move it again. All right. So what else would I want to do? Is there something better? It's got to be something better than that. Well, I could really trap him in by moving b6. Getting my bishop out, getting our bishop out. Although, what about knight? What about knight D? Excuse me. What about knight b6 instead of knight c5? It's an idea, right? Protecting it with 2 pawns, but then again, is that up there? Yes, knight b6 is up there. As is a6. You know, a6 would support. Um, no, actually it wouldn't. b6 would support the knight. b6 is still up there. Again, this is a tough one. The last move wasn't so tough. The last move was easy. This move is a tough one. Well, let's go b6, and then you know, there's g5. Actually, g5 is a good idea. No, well, before I go b6, you know, he has the potential. So now that he moved his bishop back there, he has the potential of coming over here. Bishop h4 and pinning our knight to our queen. Stopping him from doing that would be the right thing to do. So now that I look at it, g5 is actually a decent move. So let's click on that. Yeah, that might work. I like that idea. Yeah, there's knight f6. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one, g5, because yeah, that was a yeah, I know that I wasn't talking about it through the whole time, but I realized all of a sudden that he has the potential of getting that bishop in action again if we don't stop him. So we were going with the idea of locking out his bishop. If we don't do this, we will not have done our job in locking out that bishop. So let's really lock it out and move g5. I think that might be the right idea. Wow, I got 2 in a row right. Nice. So maybe I'm not so off form tonight after all. Maybe I'm getting some practice in by doing this. Okay. Or maybe I talk about it enough to, or talk through it enough to come up with the right move. And maybe I should play chess this way at the chess club if I could talk through my moves without annoying anybody. Seriously. Let me see now. What did he just do? Jeez, I do that. That's the second time I did that. I wasn't watching what he did. I can't even replay it. Oh well. I don't know what he did. I see 2 bishops sitting next to each other. I thought maybe he moved his bishop. But then he couldn't have. He must have moved his queen. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely off form tonight here. Not sure what he's up to. Alright, so what would I want to do in this position? The next time I look at this, I'm going to make sure I don't talk through the next move so I can see what he's doing. I'd still like to move that knight to c5. But maybe still better is still b6. I'd also still like to move that pawn a6. a6, yeah. To stop his knight from moving there. Okay, so let's see if both of those moves are up there. There's knight b6 and a6. a6 is in fact still up there. Knight b6 is in fact also there. Okay. I think I need to pause this video. Yeah, I need to pause this video. I'm sorry. Bathroom time. Okay. I think that pause worked. I hope. Okay. I think that pause worked. Okay, I'm hoping that this is working, and so I wonder if I should just go ahead with that A5. Let's go. Let's, you know, I've been meaning to do that. Well, we have a bad bishop here, so we have to deal with that. But maybe we could deal with it later. We can't move the knight to c5 now because he's got both the knight and the bishop against it, and we only have a pawn to protect it. So if knight c5 is up there, that would be not a good move. Knight c5 is up there, I would not do that. So perhaps b6 would be the move to increase support to the c5 square for that reason. So is b6 still up there? Yes, b6 is still up there. Both a5 and b6 are still up there. As is a6 to stop his knight from coming down here. Wow, this is really a tough one. So what am I seeing? I'm seeing that he has his queen able to come out of here. So that can't be good. He might have moved the queen. I think he did move the queen before. I think he might have moved it there just so he can come out of this angle here, diagonal here. And that could be a dangerous thing. So we need to control some of the light squares because he's got his queen there. I think b6 might be an idea to be able to bring our bishop into some control over some light squares. It may be for slow, it may be vague, but it seems to me that that might be the right thing to do. Let's go with that. Let's go with b6. There's so many choices up here, I don't even know where to start. But I'm going to go with b6. That was not correct. The correct answer was, in fact, knight f6. Did not expect that. Well, yeah, you know, tell you the truth, I don't know why I didn't think of that, because knight f6 would unblock the bishop, giving us some control over the light squares. And also, the knight will be put on a better square. Well, anyway, there it is. Okay, now is the question. Do we take? To take or not to take? To take or not to take? So is it up there anyway? D takes c5. Yes, it's up there. I'm doing that thing again. I take. He takes with the knight or bishop. Yeah, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Don't like it. I just don't like it. What if we instead made a threat of our own somehow? Well, if I push the C pawn, that would just take the support away from the D pawn. Yeah, he's got 1, and we've got 2. I'd say let that one stand. And now, perhaps move A5. A5 is, that's still up there. As is A6, which would stop this knight from coming to there. Man, this last match, the Masters, is, with only one exception, is a tough one. And if you disagree, if you find this easy, please don't be afraid to slap me. tell me how foolish I am. Man, let me see. What about getting that damn bishop out in the first place? Then he pushes the pawn, then you take. So bishop d7, is that up there? Yeah, bishop d7 is up there. To finally get that damn bishop out there, then all he has to do is push the c pawn and threaten you, and then if he takes, you can take with the pawn. Yeah, I don't like this locked position. But we do have both of our knights, both of our bishops, but then again, so does he. H5 is another. What would H5 do? Well, H5 is seemingly a subtle move. So we're over here fighting on this side here with the A, B, C, and D side, the king side here, or rather the queen side, excuse me. But we've been neglecting the king side. It seems to me that we have a locked up position on our king side, and I don't think he's getting anywhere soon. So if we were to start moving the pawns up, you know, on this side, we may be starting to attack his king immediately. I'm thinking A5, I mean, excuse me, H5 is a viable move, because he can't go anywhere with that. And then later on, sometime H4, and he can't get that bishop going anywhere. His bishop becomes an extremely bad bishop. But then again, okay, let's look at the H moves. Yes, H5 is at the bottom of the list. Is there any other H? No. H5 is the only H pawn move. Does he have a way in? No, I don't think so. Alright, what would I do? Jesus, this is tough. I'm sorry this is taking so long. It's only on page 8 of 48. I might have to do this in 2 videos. Jeez. I can't even do it in 2 videos because the software doesn't allow to go back to the same place. What about the possibility of opening up the D file? like d takes I mean, yeah, d takes c5. That is up there. No, I don't like it because that's the only. Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna fall back on my a5. That's it. It's already highlighted. It's at the top of the list. No, that's not it. Knight g6. Really? Knight g6? Who'd have thunk it? I would have never even thought of that. I suppose it opens up the queen. It maneuvers the knight to possibly the h file. Well, there it is. Knight g6 was the correct answer. This time I saw where he moved. He moved his rook to c8. I'm sorry, c1. So he's putting his rook on the file that's possibly being partially opened. What can we do about that? I have no idea. I could look at the list, but I'm not going to look at it until I figure out what I would do. I can count the number of items on the list without actually memorizing the moves. I can say that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It looks like 12. Looks like a full dozen, which is what's making this particular match to masters so difficult for me. Or it's one of the things that's making it difficult. Too many choices. So what would I do right now? Again, for the umpteenth time, a5 comes to mind. I'm sorry, a6. a6 comes to mind. He's trying to infiltrate that C file, and one of the ways to do it is to move his own knight out of the way. And the way to move his knight out of the way is to move it to b5. And I don't want him to do that. So maybe, finally, a5 might finally be the answer right now. And a5 is still at the top of the list. I'm just going to go for it. I don't care. That's not correct. Rook f7. I have no idea. I swear to you, I have no idea why Rook f7 is. You know, if I was a grandmaster, I'd be able to explain to you why Rook f7 is the idea. It's beyond me. Let's see if we can think about it without taking too much time on it. Why is Rook f7 the idea? Beats the crap out of me, but there it is. Sorry. Now he moved queen b3, attacking that pawn. I'm still going to fall back on my a5. I mean, excuse me, I keep saying a5. I meant a6. I'm going to keep falling back on a6. Although by now a5 is also as viable because you got the other knight to contend with. But a6, what are we going to do with this? This is tough. Well, there's a reason why I moved the rook to f7, and I'm thinking move it twice? Is it possible that he would want to move rook d7? I don't like it though. I don't like it because you could just push the pawn again. Well, queen, his move to queen to b3, yeah, queen to b3, I think it was. That move is provoking my rook to b8 to stop that. But again, now he's got the possibility of not only moving the knight to b5, but also moving the queen to b5. So a5, I mean, excuse me, I did it again. a6 is now more than ever a viable move, and it is still at the top of the list. I'm going to go with it, and it's still not the right answer. Boy, I'm really trying to push that a6 pawn. Okay, so the right answer was g4. Really? g4? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't play like these guys. I'm sorry. Okay, g4. Why g4? He takes. Now what? What am I going to do with that? Oh. Oh. I did not realize. Yeah, him taking the pawn on g4 with his pawn removes one of the defenders on e4. I'm still not ready to take on e4 with my knight, but now there is one less defender on it. So maybe there's something about that. And again, I have that damn white squared bishop of ours who can now come out. Excuse me, 1 second. Sorry. I think there's a slight allergy problem tonight. I think there's a pollen. I don't usually have a problem with the allergies, but I find my eyes a little watery and my throat a little itchy tonight. Anyway, yeah, we can win a pawn here. So either we take with the knight or the bishop. But we've been wanting to get that damn bishop out for so long. Maybe it's time to get it out. Maybe we should keep it. No, but see, we don't want to move the bishop away from protecting the b7 pawn either. But then again, it may be time. Okay, so let's look at the candidate moves. Bishop takes or knight takes, and see if that's up there. Oh, there's only 3 up there. D takes c5 is a candidate move. Wasn't even looking at that. Knight takes g4, which is what we were talking about, and bishop takes g4, which is also what we're talking about. So we were talking about these 2 moves, and we weren't even thinking about d takes c5. So since we were talking about those 2 so adamantly, let's discuss d takes c5 and see if that's actually a viable move. So if d takes c5, knight takes c5, Then perhaps knight takes g4, bishop takes g4, bishop takes, no, yeah. Is d takes c5 an idea? Alright, so what if we didn't take c5 and we did the either knight or bishop takes? What would he do? Would he take with the pawn? Yeah, that could actually cause us trouble, because say we took, it doesn't matter, you know, whether we took with the bishop or the knight on g4, ignoring the threat on c5, right? Then he goes ahead and takes on c5. I mean, excuse me, he goes ahead and takes d6 with c5. We may be in trouble. But then again, we take, if we took with the bishop, and we take, okay, so if we ignored it, yeah, so I don't think it's that big of a threat, because if we ignored it and took with the bishop, then the bishop takes back, and then we took with the knight, then he takes. But if we took with the knight, and he took c5, he took d6, then I could take another piece. I could take his black square bishop, so he wouldn't want that to happen. This is confusing. I can't think this straight. Okay, and this is only page 11 of 48. You know, I might have to do this video all over again. I'm going to go with bishop takes g4 because this video is taking too long. Incorrect. It was knight takes g4. But at least it wasn't the pawn takes. And now, perhaps, pawn takes. Because if I took with the bishop, then knight... No. Actually, no. It's bishop takes. It's got to be bishop takes g4. Correct. Okay. So at least we sped up that particular process. Now the queen takes. Now it gets a little confusing. I'd like to push my c-pawn, threatening his queen. Is that up there? c6 is in fact up there. And I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to do it. Because I've been taking too long on these videos, on this video. And that is incorrect. The correct answer was f3. Ooh, that's interesting. Didn't even think of that one. I'm going to speed up this video again. I'm going to choose something quickly. I'm going to choose taking the pawn. That's f takes G2. And it is up there. Incorrect. The answer was knight F4. Really? Who'd have thunk it? I'm still going with it. I'm still going to go with F takes G2. Oh, answer was E takes F4. Well, there's only one thing left, really. I gotta take that pawn. I mean, bishop has to take the F pawn, right? Bishop takes F3. Oh my god, it's not even up there. No, I can't. Of course I can't do that. I told you I am not on form tonight. I'm sorry. I'm making a lot of mistakes tonight. Let me think this out. I'm thinking bishop H3. That is up there. Also, yeah, bishop H3. Correct. Okay. That was the more obvious move. Okay. Oh, wow. I really want to take that rook. I really, really, really want to take that freaking rook. Come on. It's got to be the move. Bishop takes F1. Come on. Yeah. Please. Correct. Yeah. I mean, you know, how else could it be, right? Well, we got to be careful here. We can't move that queen until his queen is out of the way. We don't really want him to move that. I don't really want to move my rook and protect a pawn. So I could offer a trade of queens. No, that's not good. Yeah, offer a trade of queens. Take the knight. Trade knight for bishop. Oh Christ, there's a list up there. All right, so is bishop takes c3 up there? Yes, it's up there. Okay. What would be a better move? What about pawn takes now? No. Yeah, what about pawn takes now? Like, you know, d takes c5. Is that up there? Yes, it's up there. It's right above that one. Would that be any good? Would that be okay? Would that let him in when we don't want him in? Probably. D takes c5, knight takes c5, allowing his knight to get close to us, which we don't really want. Yeah, that's not advisable. What about offering a trade of queens? Are we up? So we've got a bishop, 2 rooks, a queen. 4 pawns. He's got a... Oh. He's got 2 knights. Okay. We both have a queen. We both have a rook. And we both have a knight or a bishop. He's got another knight, but I've got another rook. He's got 2, 4, 6, 7 pawns. I've got 2, 4, 5 pawns. So for the exchange that he's down, I've got 2 missing pawns. Okay. Well, we can isolate his pawn and double his pawns by taking that knight. Also, it would remove one of his knights. But I'm not so sure I want to get rid of that bishop. I want to keep that bishop. This is tough. This is really freaking tough. How about we offer the exchange? Well, no, he can still move out of the way. I move the queen to B8. He moves to C6. Then what do I do from there? Nothing. No, that's not good. I can't even take his pawn because of the knight. What do I want to do? I can't move the rook or the queen out of the way. Oh wait, I can move the queen out of the way because I still have the other rook there. Well, how about queen? Queen like H4 maybe? Is that up there? There's queen B8. Yeah, that's what I was talking about trading. But what about queen H4? Is that up there? Queen C8, queen B8. No, it's not up there. So that's out of the question. Yeah, the only queen moves up there are in fact C8 and B8. So what I was thinking is not. I mean, it may be that I might play that move if I was playing somebody, but it's not in the candidate moves on the multiple choice. Of course, again, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's a dozen. There's an even dozen choices here, and it's tough. I did highlight D takes C5 though, just to remind you. You know what? I think D takes C5 and bishop takes C3 are the two candidate moves that I can't think of anything else. How bad do I want to get rid of that damn knight? With his potential of coming to B5, I think that's a dangerous bishop. I mean, a dangerous knight. I think I might be willing to trade a bishop for it. On the other hand, if I move that bishop out, his potential for checking me and becoming very dangerous is also almost unacceptable. You know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take his bishop takes C3. I'm going to do it. Oh, bishop D4 was the answer. Bishop D4. Oh, why didn't I even think of that? I wasn't even I didn't even see that move. Bishop D4 is a good move. Oh well. Well, we can't allow that. We have to take now. We definitely have to take. D takes D takes E5 is got to be up there. D takes E5 is what I was thinking. D takes E5 is not up there. D takes C5, however, is. And I think that's what I'm going to go with. I'm taking too long in this video, folks. This is a tough one. Incorrect. The answer was D takes E. Oh, I did say D takes E5. I didn't see that up there. Well, I just didn't see it. Sorry. I thought it wasn't even up on the list. I thought it wasn't on the list. I would have done that. I would have definitely had done that. I just didn't see it on the list. So it's going to go against our score. Okay. I'll look at the list more carefully next time. Nicotine time. What I want to do. And this time I'm going to try not to overlook some really good moves. I like to get my queen out there, but I can't do that because it'll just take my rook and put me in check. I could take the pawn, sacrificing a bishop. Don't want to do that. Jeez. What about rook g7? Is that up there? Yes, rook g7 is up there. Controlling that file. Rook g7, and later on moving the queen over there, and you know, to g5 and checkmate threat. Rook g7 is a reasonable move. I don't see anything else. All right, this time we're gonna try to look at the candidate moves that they have so that we don't screw up again. So starting from the bottom is king h8. This time it's a viable move because we don't want him to check us. Rook g7 is what I just mentioned a minute ago. Bishop e3. What? Bishop e3. What? Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Brain fart. Yeah, bishop e3 is something else I was considering much earlier, and I wasn't even thinking about it just now. I like bishop e3. Sort of. But not really, because... No, no, I don't like it. I changed my mind. I don't like bishop e3, because bishop e3 leads to knight takes e5. No. That pawn, I want to protect that pawn, e5 pawn. That bishop e3 was a bad move. In fact, I'll even be willing to bet if I were to choose bishop e3 that they would take points away from me. Which leaves out bishop takes c5 as well, because, and that's not even up there, so I'm not even going to worry about it. Okay, so it would leave it out because it's the same thing. It's leaving the e5 pawn undefended. What about something weird, like to clear the area? You know, like c6, which would allow him to take. Yeah, that's not up there either. Okay, I just wanted to check. I didn't think that would be up there. All right. Yeah, I still like rook g7. Yeah, rook b8 is also up there, which leaves that pawn undefended. On the other hand, what if we let him take the pawn, and then when he takes, we take? No, that's no good. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, so here's the idea. Follow my mouse. I don't like this, but because it leaves this pawn undefended. But what if we say, okay, go ahead and take our pawn. We'll move rook b8, right? He takes the pawn, and we take his pawn. He takes our rook, and we take his knight. Or even, it's an idea. It's an idea. Rook g7 still is better. King h8 is somewhat okay too, but rook g7 seems to me something I would play. Oh, rook b8 was the actual move. Well, we were talking about it. It wasn't like I wasn't thinking about it. All right, give me a break here. So, oh, he didn't take though. Well, shouldn't we take the pawn? Should we not take, bishop takes b2? And that's the first one on the list. Wow. This is the most difficult one, and we're only on 21 of 48. This video is taking way too long. I might start just winging it. Yeah, I'm just going to wing it. Okay, here's where we start moving fast and maybe making more mistakes than we would anyway. Candidate moves real quick. Queen g5. Rook g7. Queen g5 is up there. Rook g7 is not. Therefore, it's incorrect. Queen f6 was actually the move. Okay, fine. Yeah, so he's offering the trade. Okay. Oh, come on. Are you serious? I'm going to take the knight. And there's only two moves up there. E takes d4. Queen takes c6. No, queen takes c6 is not the answer. Queen takes d4. E takes d4 is the answer. That's got to be it, yeah. That one, again, was easy. Only the second one in this whole damn thing that was easy. This was too easy. Okay. Now, either pawn takes or queen takes. What do you think? Duh. Pawn takes. If you're going to take it all. So there's 5 up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, 6 up there. What would I want to do? I'm I'm still trying to figure out a way to get my queen and king. I'm still trying to figure out a way to get my queen and rook on that G file to checkmate him. What about Queen G6 threatening his knight? No, that's not good. That's an immediate fork. Nope, that would be a bad move. Okay, so just out of curiosity, let's see if that's up there. No, it's not even up there. Queen G6 would be a horrible move. You see it? Queen G6 would allow him to go Knight E5, forking both queen and rook. That would be an absolute mistake, and they would take away points from us. So I'm glad I caught it before I actually did it. But anyway, it's not even up there, so it doesn't matter. But you could imagine if we were in the middle of a game and there's not this multiple choice, that you could screw up and make a mistake like that. But anyway. Alright, so is Rook G7 still up there? Yes, Rook G7 is in fact still up there. I'm still thinking that's the way to go. Let's do it. Let's make this video a little shorter and just freaking do it. Wrong or right? And it's not correct, it's wrong. C takes D6 was the actual answer, which is not what I expected, but there it is. I mean, it was a viable move, obviously, and he doesn't take back. That's interesting. What if we continued this shenanigans and decided to take D takes C5? Is that up there? D takes C5 is the first on the list. I like it because then if he takes with the knight, we can take the pawn with the rook, but at the same time that may not be the best thing. I'm doubling our pawns. Yeah, you know, it's viable. All right, what else would I want to? What else would I want to do? I can speak. I do it all the time. What about offering a trade and threatening his knight at the same time? Queen F5. Is that up there? Yes, as a matter of fact, it is. And again, I'm leaning forward and looking through some non-existent bifocals. I beg your pardon. You know, folks, I got new glasses recently. I opted for the... I've been, you know, for decades I've always wanted these computer glasses. I finally opted for them, and it, you know, it's a hard, you know, old habits die hard, and I've had bifocals and progressive, you know, progressives has been always my thing. You know, the invisible bifocals, but unfortunately, my current financial situation, I cannot afford them anymore. So I've been opting for these multiple, you know, glasses thing, you know, which is apparently cheaper. So it's getting rough on me to continuously changing glasses, and I've gotten used to progressive bifocals so much, or even regular bifocals so much, that I'm still doing this sort of thing, you know, with my head. And I've got a computer pair glasses on right now, which is actually an in-between focal length, which allows me to sit back and look at the screen. So pardon me while I be goofy with my glasses. Anyway, where was I? I was at the possibility of moving Queen F5. I kind of like that idea. But what if he doesn't take? And he moves something else. What could he possibly do? He could put me in check. Rook G1 check. Then I would move. No, I couldn't even move my rook because he's pinning. Oh, he's pinning my rook right now. I'm pointing to it on the screen. I know you don't see that. He's pinning my rook. I need to move that king out of the pin. King F8 and King H8 are both up there. I think I'm going to go with F8. King F8. Get out of the pin. Incorrect. King was H8. Well, at least I had the right idea. I was opting for H8. I mean F8. I was also thinking about H8. I opted for the wrong one. But nevertheless, the right idea was to get the king out of the pin. Okay. I'd like to get that rook on D8, possibly threatening his queen. Rook D8 is, in fact, up there. Okay, so it's the third choice. What else can I do? I can move rook G8, threatening to go with the queen or the other rook, and or rook G8 is in fact up there. So there's rook D8, there's rook G8. Also, I'm also thinking of rook G7, the other rook. And that, in fact, is also up there. Jeez and rice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 10. Well, at least there's less than a dozen, like before. What would be the best thing? What about rook E? What about rook E8? Threatening to take over that file, and maybe even later on threatening his other pieces there. Is rook E8 viable? Yeah, rook E8 is up there. That's viable. It's, it's viable, but it's questionable to me anyway. What about the queen? I wanted to look at the possibility of queen G6, but it's not even. Queen F5 is up there, but queen G6 is not. Queen G6, queen F5 are kind of the same idea. Queen, I was thinking queen G6 because I was going to threaten his knight, but it's not up there. And whether or not, maybe somebody out there who's a better chess player than me would tell me why it's such a bad move to do that. Yeah, no, actually, I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing the possibility of a couple moves from now where my F7 rook could be captured. So queen F5 would be a better move, offering to trade again. Yeah, let's offer the trade again. Let's go with queen f5, offer the trade. Is that a good move? Let's make sure. Yeah, let's go with that. Oh, it's not right. Rook g7 was the right answer. I said rook g7 earlier. I thought that was a good move, but I chose the wrong one. Well, now we have to stop that pawn. I don't see any other viable move other than rook d8. I'm not even going to think about it. I'm not even going to look at the other freaking moves. Rook d8 has to go to be the one. That's correct. See, again, the third one in this whole puzzle that was easy. Rook d8 had to be the one. Okay. What about... what is he planning on doing with that knight? He's planning on protecting his pawn. Also planning on going to c6. So what about queen g5? Pinning his knight. And also bringing my piece where I wanted it in the first place. Queen g5 has got to be up there. Oh, yes, it is. Yes, yes, yes. I'm doing that bifocal thing again. I don't need to do that. I just need to sit back and stop doing that. Okay, queen g5. Queen g5. It is up there. It's the last one on the list. Why not? Just go for it. Oh, that was incorrect. The correct answer was rook d takes d7. Wow, I didn't even think of that one. Seriously? Why? I don't play like that. I don't like this. I don't like this play at all. There's 4 moves up there, and I didn't look at them yet. I mean, I'm thinking just move the queen g6 and threaten checkmate. Can you do anything about that? I don't think so. But yeah, you can. Well, you can move queen a1, I mean a8, and I just move my rook down. So let's see if queen g6 is a viable move. Queen g6 is up there. Rook takes d7. That's just ridiculous. I don't like it. Why would I want to trade a rook for a knight right now? I like queen g6. Queen d8 is also a viable move. Queen d8 has promise, because then we could take the knight and threaten his queen. But can we get away with queen g6? What if I went ahead and went queen g6? Is there something he can do? I don't see it. No. I'm going queen g6. Correct. Yeah. That one was almost as easy as the other two. Not quite. Because I looked it over and I noticed that he couldn't do a goddamn thing about it. Except put me in check. In which case, I would move my rook down. Let me see. There's only 2 choices. Queen e8 or rook g8. Queen e8 is stupid. Like, why would you do that? There's only one choice here. That's rook g8. And that's correct. I mean, that's ridiculous. To give you a choice of, you know, would you move your queen there and let him capture? No. And of course, I have to take. Well, the choice is which one do you take with? Well, that's a good question. If I take with the king, can you do anything with the knight? If I take with the queen, can you do anything with the knight? I don't know. Okay, so say I take with the king, and his possible moves are knight e5, threatening my queen, and I gotta move the queen. If I take with the queen, his possible move is knight f6. I don't know. Either way, I don't think he has a whole lot. Oh, no. If I take with the king, he can take, he can pin, he pins the, yeah, we trade queens. I take with the king, he moves rook g1, meaning that I have to take, but he gives up his rook. But he still has the knight. Yeah, you know, he's actually up right now. Yeah, he's actually up a knight and a rook right now. So we have to figure out a way not to trade off. Taking with the king would be a suicide. I gotta take with the queen. Correct. Ooh, it took a long time to figure that one out, but I did do it. Okay, so how do we get rid of this advantage of his? I'm thinking about pushing a pawn, like d3. Is that up there? Yes, it is. So it's queen d8. I'm gonna go with d3, and then he's gonna move his knight. Then I'm gonna move. Then I'll move to. Oh, it was queen g5. How strange. I still think I want to push the pawn. d3. There's also h6 and h5. h5 would be better than h6. Let's go with it. Oh, it was d3 after all. See, again, I had the right answer, but I didn't choose the right one. I think d2, because then he has to either move the rook. Yeah, he has to move the rook, then I take the knight. d2 is the right answer. That is, yeah. Yeah, that was actually easy. And he puts me in check and wants to take my queen. Fine, because then I got a queen. Oh, I'm sorry. King G7, King G8. Which is better? G8 would allow... I don't know. Which is better? Alright, so King G8. He takes the queen. I take and put him in check. I don't think it matters. I'd say activate the king and get him out of there. So I'd say King G7 just for the sake of that. But I don't see a difference. That's correct. And no, okay. He decides not to take the queen. Wow. Wow, now we have a better choice here. What do we got here? What would I do? I think I'm going to cheat and look at the list. Alright, let's look at the list. I'm looking at the list before I decide what I would do, because this is getting tough. Queen D5. I'm cheating. Sorry. Queen D5. Yeah. Protecting the pawn and attacking the knight. What about just taking the knight and hell with it? King takes F7. Let him take the friggin' pawn. Who gives a shit? You got a queen. And Queen H4. Why would I move Queen H4? Is there any reason whatsoever where I move? No. Screw Queen H4. It's either King takes the knight or protect the pawn and attack the knight at the same time. No, I'm sorry. King takes F7. Bullshit. Take the fucking knight. Incorrect. You gotta be kidding me. King Queen H4? Wow. Why? I don't understand. I'm lost. I don't understand. I'm lost. I gotta take the knight. I'm sorry. Oh, wait. Queen E1. Now there's an interesting move. Either I take the knight or Queen E1. Well, considering how bizarre the other move was, I'm going to say Queen E1 is actually a decent move. He's either going to take or not. It doesn't matter. You're going to get your queen back. So you get the rook. If he moves the rook out of the way, you get your queen back. It doesn't matter which way you look at it. So Queen E1 is the way to go. That's correct. Okay, I see where it is. I see where the logic is now. I didn't see it before. So these are the bonus questions. What is wrong with knight A5? Well, first of all, they flipped the board on me. What's wrong with it? White's next move. Flips back again. What's wrong with it is this one, because the knight is trapped. Correct. This wins the knight. Okay. How does white respond to c5? Looking to block queenside. Give his next move. Well, I'm thinking en passant. En passant. Correct. What is black's answer to 11 queen d2? Give his next move. Well, how about goodbye, bishop? Correct. Thank you very much. Correct. Bonus question number 4. After c6, give white's best pawn capture. Is it c takes d6 or d takes e6? So after c6, is it c takes d6 or d takes c6? Oh, well, if d takes c6, you're going to allow him to capture back, opening up his bishop. If c takes d6, you're threatening his knight. So that would be the answer. So c takes d6 would be the best bet. Correct. Maybe I'm not all off for him after all. Maybe my old student was just simply that good. You know, pat myself on the back for teaching him. Anyway. Bonus number 5. How should white react to rook e8? This is a good question. Not sure. Just don't know. How should white react to rook e8? Well, the other bonus questions were easy so far, so this one was bound to be a hard one, right? All right. How should white react to rook e8? Take the pawn? I don't know. I have no idea. What about the knight? How about knight b5? I don't know, just to say something. Incorrect. White's next move should be c takes d6. Really? I wouldn't have thought of that because I was thinking about taking it, but I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. Oh well. How should black continue after rook f2? Give his next move. Oh, well. How about bishop d4, pinning his rook? Correct. This wins the exchange. Does it? What exchange? Okay. How should black continue after rook f e1? Well, I'm thinking bishop d4 check. What else can I do? I'm thinking queen g5 check. I think queen g5 check, because then after that we can go bishop. Let's go with this one. Correct. These to mate. Yes. After all those moves, how should black continue? Give his next move. So after rook d1, queen. Okay, so we could either go bishop takes check, then either the rook or the pawn will take. Or, wow, this is a tough one. We got to be careful because, you know, we have to put him in check because he can take the queen. I mean, he could take the rook with the queen, put me in check, and then sort of put a wrench in things. Oh. Wait, no, that's not where it's not good either. What about queen takes? F3. But then after that, he puts me in check. The thing is that I gotta do something about these knights. Because I can't get him in checkmate right now because of these goddamn knights. What if I did this? Oh, that's not correct. The correct move should be bishop d4. Okay. How does white reply to rook g7? Well, I could either take the pawn, or I mean, I could take queen takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. Yeah, pawn takes pawn, queen takes queen, and then pawn takes rook, queen, or queen takes pawn. Yeah, queen takes pawn is better. Or rook g1. I like queen takes pawn. Oh, that was incorrect. It was actually white should reply with d takes c7. $47.48. Thank goodness this is almost over. I don't know how long this has been taking. How should black continue? Give his next move after rook takes d2. Well, it seems simple enough. I mean, queen e1 check, and then take. Yeah, come on. Yeah, I mean, that was freaking... After all those other tough questions, you're going to give me that simple one? Give me a break. Okay, so I'll let you read through this, and conclusion, when white closes down the center, the play automatically moves to the flanks, and white is... I'm not going to even read this. I'm not in the best of form tonight, so I'll just leave this on the screen long enough. So the last part was the word the, and you can pause it to read the rest, and I'll scroll down Okay, so yeah, that's no problem. So you'll be able to pause it and then unpause it and then read the rest. Thank you for watching. I apologize for any silliness and things like that. Um, Again, this is the last of the Match the Masters. There is only 10. There are only 10. However, the correct English pronunciation of that is. Um, and this was the 10th one. Future videos are, I was talking about doing a possible reading thing, things like that. Also, note that I also mentioned the solar eclipse, upcoming solar eclipse for August 21st. Here in New Jersey, in my particular area, we're going to get about 75% eclipse. I thought it was going to be a little less, and actually, as I looked at the newer maps, it looks like it might be as much as 75, perhaps even 76%. So we'll stick with the average of 75. If you're in anywhere in the country within the path, I recommend you look at the path of the shadow. So maybe we'll do some more astronomy videos. If the reading thing doesn't come about, I'll try to focus more a little bit on astronomy. I'm not sure. I can no longer use my telescope at night because of my eyesight thing. It's a long story. Never mind. But solar astronomy is still astronomy. You are actually looking at a G25 star when you look at our sun. So that is an interesting thing. Anyway, thank you for watching. Sorry if it's a little bit weird tonight. This is the final Chess Master 10th edition reference to Match the Masters. Number 10 is the last one. Are there going to be any other chess videos? Perhaps. Not too far future. Maybe I'll start recording my games. And as one of my subscribers begs me to do, put some of my own games up. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Keep looking up. Keep playing chess, etc., so forth and so on. Thank you. And I think I can figure out how to get out of this by pushing Control F10. Is that right?